Hey guys, and welcome to the channel. In this video, I want to help you make an informed decision on which accounting Big 4 firm you want to join. If you want to help me reach other accounting students like yourself, make sure to leave a like down below and subscribe. It really helps me out. Now, you've probably been told before that no matter which firm you choose, you'll probably be happy in either one, whether it be KPMG, PwC, Deloitte, or EY. Although I largely believe that to be true, I also believe that's not incredibly helpful either. So let's dive deeply into why people are saying that. So let us start when you're applying to internships and or jobs. When you're just applying, all the interview processes at all the Big 4 firms are largely the same. You'll have an in-person interview, a phone interview, a video interview, etc. When applying, I recommend that you don't pigeonhole yourself into one firm right away. Rather, explore your options, the other Big 4s, and then make your choice once you received or do not receive your offers. Whichever firms that get back to you, then you can choose between those. Now, the tougher question that you're gonna have to wrangle with is which Big 4 you wanna go into if you have multiple Big 4 offers. Don't get me wrong, that's a great problem to have, and kudos to you if you were able to do that. Now, all you have to do is choose, but that's easier said than done. To help you, I wanna give you some insight onto how I made my decision. To give you an idea of my situation, it was towards the end of my sophomore year where I had to choose between two different Big 4 accounting firms. The process for college students is a little bit different because you're not applying to the position directly. Rather, at the beginning or middle of your sophomore year, you apply to the summer sophomore programs that each of the Big 4 holds, and that kind of gives you a 1 to 2 day tour during your sophomore year summer of the offices and gives you a brief overview of what each company is like. If you're able to get into these sophomore summer programs, then that usually automatically gets you into the internship you have your junior year, and if you do well your internship, then you get the job. So you kind of see how things, snowball. So that being said, your choice of which company you want to get into isn't happening at the end of your senior year, isn't happening at the end of your junior year, but it's happening really at the beginning of your junior year, end of your sophomore summer. In order to make my decision, I relied heavily on these sophomore summer programs for each of the Big 4 accounting firms. When you're touring the office spaces, I want you to take note and notice the surroundings of the office space. You're going to be in there during a workday, so does the area have a lot of natural sunlight? Does the area seem very welcoming? Are the partners and managers' doors, are they open or are they closed? The recruiters are always going to spend a great deal amount of time telling you about their firm and their culture. But looking around and witnessing the other professionals work in their environment will tell you probably more than what any recruiter would want to tell you or care to tell you. Other incentives that might influence your decision will be internship experiences and company perks. During your sophomore summer program, all the recruiters are going to be waiving each of their company's unique experiences that you'll be having at their internships. The unique experiences I'm talking about is like EY when they bring you to Orlando for 1 week worth of training, where it ends climactically at Disney World in Magic Kingdom for a 1-day trip, all expenses paid by EY. Or KPMG, that brings you to their new training facility that they affectionately call the Lake House for a 1 week all expenses paid trip for training, that one of those days they also bring you to Universal or Harry Potter World or something like that in Orlando, Florida. For Deloitte, I know they have this thing called Deloitte University that they have in Texas, where it's again an all expenses paid trip for 1 week of training in their really beautiful facility down in Texas. And PwC, I think they do something. Honestly, I'm not really entirely sure, but I'm sure they do something very similar to what the other 3 firms are doing. If you know what PwC does, let me know down in the comments below. These things are really cool, but I promise all the Big 4 firms actually do these things because it's all in the name of competition. They want the best and the brightest students coming into their companies. I bring this up because I don't want you, joining EY because they're gonna bring you to Disney World for 1 day, or join KPMG because they're gonna bring you to Orlando, Florida for like a week, or go to Deloitte because they're gonna bring you to this thing called Deloitte University, which is a beautiful campus. But you shouldn't choose a company because they have a beautiful campus. I want you to accept an offer because you can truly see yourself working for that company. Not see yourself at Disney World, but see yourself in that company working with those people. If not thriving, then at least enjoying your time working with people who are like-minded like yourself and have a similar attitude to how you approach work. For me, I ended up choosing one Big 4 company over another because after the office tours, I kind of I got a good idea of how the employees were, the office seemed more welcoming, and the vibe of the company that I chose. I felt like the vibe was an environment that I could see myself fitting into fairly well. That's not to say that the company I didn't choose wasn't a company that I thought I couldn't do well in or saw myself being unhappy in. If I had chose the company that I had declined, I still think I would be just as happy, just as stressed, just as challenged, and just as fulfilled professionally as I am currently at the office I'm currently working at. Don't stress too much about which firm you want to choose if you find yourself having to choose between multiple firms. Just try and make sure that you're choosing the company because you see yourself, working there, you see yourself as fitting in there pretty well, rather than because the recruiter's super nice or because they're paying for a trip to Disney World for you. As you grow, mature, and experience new things, the answer will become much more clear for you. Once you make your decision, I'll give you one piece of advice that my uncle has given me, which is instead of thinking that the grass is always green on the other side, just know that the grass is brown everywhere. A little cynical, but you kind of get the point. Well, that's it for this video. Thanks so much for watching up to this point. I usually try and post every week, but if not, I'm posting at least 2 to 3 times a month. Once again, thank you so much for watching this video. If you found this helpful at all, please don't forget to leave a comment, like, and subscribe. And until then, I'll see you in the next video. So see ya. Boom!